Hey guys, welcome back to another review, and today I am reviewing Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Bryan Cranston, Albert Brooks, Oscar Isaac, Christina Hendricks, and Ron Perlman, and was directed by Nicholas Winding Refn, and is about a mysterious Hollywood stuntman and mechanic moonlights as a getaway driver. He finds himself in trouble when he helps out his neighbor. Alright, let's talk about the positives. Literally everything. Everything about this movie is fantastic. Let's start with one thing, the acting. The performances are great. This is probably Ryan Gosling's best performance ever. And he's done a lot of really good performances before, but this is probably his best one. Also, Albert Brooks is incredible in this movie as the villain. He was very menacing, very threatening, but also very subtle. Also, Ron Perlman was excellent in this movie, and I really like Ron Perlman. This is probably his second best performance, other than Hellboy. And Bryan Cranston's really good in this movie as well. Even though he's not in it that much, he was still very good. Also, Carey Mulligan, I don't know what else I've seen her in, but she was really good in this movie. And the directing. The directing is fantastic. This director directed Bronson with Tom Hardy and Only God Forgives. I haven't seen neither, but this film has excellent directing. There are so many very well-directed scenes, including the opening scene, which is a getaway scene, but literally just takes place inside one car. It was very tense and well-directed. The action scenes are well-directed, even though there's not that much. They're all very well-directed and freaking brutal. I was not expecting this movie to be this violent. The most violent scene, in my opinion, is probably two scenes, actually. One scene in a hotel room where a woman gets her head blown off, and oh boy, I did not expect that. And also the elevator scene, which is iconic now as being a very violent scene. And it was incredible. Not the violence, just how the scene was directed, how it was filmed, how it was acted, and the effects. The gore effects are really good. Even though I don't know if they were CGI. Most likely they weren't. They did look very realistic, as in like they look like props. But yeah, this movie is not really for the faint of heart. It's very violent, but it's not an action movie. Keep that in mind. If you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend you do. It's not an action movie. It's a crime drama. It's mainly a drama. Because the first half of the movie has no action in it. There's like barely any action or literally any kind of violence in the film in the first half. It's very quiet, setting up the characters, stuff like that, setting up the plot. Some people may not like the fact of how slow the first act of this movie is, but I never had a problem with it. I was always invested. And then once it happens, it just blows in your face, and you're like, oh my gosh. Oh man, this movie, it gets intense after the second half of the movie. It gets flippin' intense. Alright, let's talk about the cinematography. It's incredible. It's awesome. This has some of the best cinematography I've seen in a film. This one shot near a beach is beautiful to look at. The lighting, gorgeous. Every shot of this film is beautiful. And all right, next thing, the soundtrack. Very good. It's threatening, but it's also calming. And then, there's the iconic Drive song, which I'm going to call it the Drive song. I know what it's called. I love it. It's for some reason, for me, it's very relaxing for some reason, but I don't know why. The soundtrack in this movie is very good. It's incredible. I think it kicked off the whole techno phase in movies. That literally every movie had some kind of techno soundtrack after this movie came out. And then there's the only thing this movie was nominated for, the sound editing. It's very good, which I think that's a huge crime that this movie was only nominated for sound editing. Sound editing. Not cinematography, not best original song, not best actor, not best director, not even best picture. I mean, yeah, but seriously, this movie should have been nominated for way more than just sound editing. I know that is just like that was like 2011. That's completely, irrelevant anymore. But still, I'm still a little upset that Saving Private Ryan didn't win Best Picture, and I wasn't even alive when that happened. All right, enough complaining for now. All right, all right. Do I have any negatives with the film? Absolutely not. This is, in my opinion, a masterpiece, if you know what you're getting into. I went in expecting a slow-moving crime drama. That's what I got. If you're expecting a fast-paced, Fast and Furious action movie, you're not going to get it. Not even when the action happens, it's done almost very quickly. None of the action scenes are that long. They're all short, and they're short but brutal. Okay, let's just say that they're short. They don't last long, and I also really love the character of the driver, the main character, which we never know his name in the movie. They never say his name on IMDb. Ryan Gosling is only credited as the driver, which is interesting. I really like this character. I really love his jacket with the scorpion, which is actually very relevant to the plot. Sorry if you could hear my dog barking. He's barking for some reason. He barks to bark. But anyway, I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about Drive. So, long story short, this film is excellent. It's so good. And I'm going to give Drive an A+, and is a masterpiece. So if you've seen Drive, what did you think about it? And if you like this review, give it a like, and I will see you all next time.